check this out. This is the SKEAM Podcast, episode 3. We back here as usual live, Studio 54, Broner Room, Bowie, Maryland. I am your host, Main Manifest. As usual, to my left I have
DJ Tiz. Check me out, _ I am DJ Tiz on Instagram. Peace. Brooklyn, my number one love.
Stand up. To my right,
Poopy Long Johns. You know where I'm at. Check me up on it.
let's go. And we here, man, as usual. Thank you to everyone who subscribed, who commented, who checked us out on episodes 1 and 2. As usual, you can see us right there. SKEAM.podcast on YouTube. That's the channel. SKEAM_podcast on IG. Follow us. Let us know what y'all thinking. We doing this every weekly. Every week. Every week.
No, you're right. Every weekly.
Every weekly, yeah. Every week we doing it. Just kicking that real.
What up, Danny?
You got it. Shout out to everybody. And listen, I want y'all to subscribe and also comment. Let us know what topics y'all want us to hear. I've been getting a lot of texts. I've been getting a lot of info back. Y'all blowing my phone up, but y'all got to put it in a page. So any topic y'all think we should talk about, we'll take a vote. We'll put it in the form, and we'll be giving this to y'all, to the people. But we're going to get right into it. As you know, the scheme, we start off with our sports. It's a big fight going on. Who y'all got, man? It's AB versus Pacquiao. Everybody's talking about it. Ain't been too many big fights since Floyd retired. You know what I mean? The hand game. So who y'all got? See Tiz talking Brooklyn. Who you got, Tiz?
Yo, anybody that beat Adrien Broner, that's my person, man. I just believe Adrien got too much showboat, too much. It's too much. It's too much show and not enough fight. I come from an era where we had Mike Tyson. You know that dude was he'll walk from one side, he'll pace in the ring, not much to say, and knock your vertebrae loose.
Yeah.
Huh? I am Mike Tyson. Again.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
But
like, I just don't think that Adrien Broner is he a wannabe Mayweather. I mean,
he's from the Mayweather camp.
Yeah, he's from the Mayweather camp, and he wants to be Showtime without the wins and without the skill. Yeah, the brother can fight, but he can beat us. But
he took a couple
Pacquiao, I got Pacquiao knocking Broner out. Not knocking him out, but winning the fight.
I was about to say, that's tough. Who you got?
See, Pacquiao prayed. Broner, he don't pray, he played. So, I don't know who it's going to be, but I hope we don't see Broner knocked out like he was knocked out with, who the guy knocked him off? Knocked him out the ring and shit.
I don't know. Pacquiao, they was doing a lot of dancing.
That's what scared me.
I mean, as a technician, I think it's going to be a good fight. But looking at Pacquiao and his last couple of fights, ever since Mayweather, he's been looking bad old in the ring. But back to Tim's point about AB, that's what boxing is today. Everybody showboating, everybody promoting, everybody got to hype themselves
You got to do the little dances
he got some,
in the ring while you boxing.
He got hands with it, though, but he has been taking some L's. I think it's going to be a good fight. I just hope they engage. I just want them to fight.
Right, but I understand what you're saying, Jay. As far as, Muhammad Ali was the biggest talker ever, right? Muhammad Ali had a mouthpiece on him. But it's a difference between talking to hype up the fight and talking about how much money you got and how many cars you got and how much jewelry you can wear to the weigh-in. It's a difference for me. I'm not watching boxing to see how fabulous you are.
Right.
I'm watching boxing to see how hard you worked.
Right.
I give you a point here. I used to couldn't stand Mayweather until I started watching all the 2020 episodes where the 24 episodes where they lead up to the fight, the 24/7, right?
Yep.
That gave me a perspective of Mayweather I never seen before. That showed me the work that he put in and how he was, how he never ran from a fight, or how how he had to go into a fight and defend what he built.
Right.
With Adrien Broner, I just don't see that. I see too much smoke and mirrors, and I see too much jury, and I see too much bullshit.
It is a little bit more bark than bite.
And it's a lot of bullshit. I want to see, when I look at boxing, I want to see boxing.
Right.
When I look at a concert, I want to see a rapper or an artist.
Right.
When I look at, the news, I want to see politics and world views.
Right.
I don't want to look at boxing and see a clown running around with jury on talking about how much money he got. I just don't.
Unless he's nice though, because Mayweather was doing it and he was nice.
Broner nice, man.
But I'm saying Mayweather was doing all that talking,
right.
but he was backing it up. So I'm with you, Tiz. Like, you can't be more bark than bite. But if your bark match up your bite, you know what I mean, then you kind of good with it. What you saying about?
The thing with Broner, they say he don't swing a lot, so he could do a lot of dancing and pat just to try to get out of the ring. They don't say he's swinging up. You got to go in there and say, stop messing with me. You got to go swinging. Like,
but that's what I'm saying. So
you got to go crazy out there.
Look at that. You said
The winning judges.
Right. You said Broner do a lot of dancing,
Yeah.
and then we saw Pacquiao dancing. So if they gonna get in the ring
I don't
and
think Pacquiao
dance,
dancing.
he danced the whole fight with Mayweather. That whole fight, they was bothering.
I know one thing Pacquiao don't do. Come on, Brooklyn. I know one thing Pacquiao don't do, and that's a whole bunch of nonsense, jury wearing, talking in the blocks of money.
He wear Wranglers. Pacquiao wear Wranglers.
But you know what?
From Walmart.
That's exactly what they built us up to do.
I don't care.
That's what the powers that be built us up to do. Buffoon, and those that subscribe to it, do it. And those that don't, it's like, listen, I'm here to do a job. I ain't got time for that. I'm not here to be your puppet. That man right there is a puppet on strings.
Pacquiao, they say drink his own urine. He used to do all that before a fight.
I like it.
I don't know if he's still doing that, but
He drunk his own piss.
drinking his own piss. Y'all ain't heard about that? Drinking his own urine.
Warming in the jaw.
Here's the Pacquiao.
It make your veins stronger.
It look like piss, but it ain't
He
piss.
ain't drinking piss on that. But it's funny as how it's different. It's different stuff, like you said, different ways. Younger fighters, you talk about Iron Mike versus the Floyd Mayweather. I want to talk about another thing that we saw, speaking of talking. Kyrie Irving, man, the Kyrie and LeBron. Did y'all hear about that? Kyrie apologized, basically giving credit to LeBron, saying like, yo, you're an older cat. LeBron, he is an OG, but he not, you know what I'm saying? He's still in it. But long story short, Kyrie basically was saying, man, I wasn't listening. I was a young knucklehead, and he was trying to give me wisdom. Now Kyrie's running his own team in Boston.
Right.
And he got young cats not listening to him. And now he is actually seeing some of the things that LeBron was talking to him about, right? It's funny how you got to go through experience and see that. What y'all think about that as far as, you know what I mean, him talking about his...
The apology. I mean, once you see it, he's seen sweat and regret. So now he's trying to forget how he treated LeBron.
That rhymes.
You know,
Yeah.
he's trying to forget how he treated LeBron and the team. Now he's seeing it from a different outlook. So he's like, "You wasn't this bad. I wish we could have added something better."
Right.
You know, so I know where he's coming from, and it's good that he came out and said how he really felt. It was heartfelt that he really said the truth. So I think that's good. He spoke the truth.
Word. What you think?
Well, I personally think that, it's par for the course. In the heat of the moment, he made a statement, and he had to walk that statement back. So when you get time to sit down and think about what you said that wasn't in the heat of the moment, then you can walk it back, and you know what? Let's deflect. Let's deflect to, giving. There was no props given to LeBron when he made the statement. He was basically saying, yo, these young dudes got to play better. That's what he felt. Remember, you say what you feel. Not everybody do though, because they in a place right now where they gotta watch what they say. They cannot say what they feel. Yeah. This is beautiful. Right now, if I feel I want to say something, I can say something because I have nothing to lose and I have nobody pulling my strings and nobody cuts my check for this podcast right here. Right. You heard that, Jay? Right. Nobody cuts my check, bro. So I can say whatever I want to say and I don't have to walk it back. Kyrie said what he meant, and then he had to walk it back, and he threw a whole bunch of bullshit in there to soften it up, to make the powers that cut his check happy.
I think experience is the best teacher. at the time, LeBron was saying something because he experienced it. You know, Kyrie had been through some of the things that LeBron had been through, so he didn't know where he was coming from. So it's funny how sometimes when you think the grass greener on the other side, and you get to a point where you have an experience, now you look back like, oh, that's what the cat was trying to tell me.
So let me ask you a question. Why not make that statement first?
Which statement? As far
as to LeBron and experience is the best teacher and that. That's not what he said first. He came out blatantly and said, these young dudes need to play better.
Yeah.
That's what he felt.
Yeah.
But then
This could have been more going on too that we don't know going on. That he could have had everybody against LeBron just because he Kyrie, you know. So it could have been a divided locker room, and he could have had the majority of the team side with him and regretted that they made it hard for LeBron to be the leader that he could have been on the team.
I don't think that in the Boston locker room they're thinking about LeBron and the Cavs at all. I believe I seen it when it broke. Kyrie came out and basically spoke out of emotion and spoke off the cuff, and then later they sat him down and said, you can't do that. You're gonna lose the team. You cannot be a leader and talk badly about the young guys on the team. He had time to go write a statement, or somebody else wrote one for him, and he softened it up so that he didn't hurt nobody's feelings.
You think it was forced? They made?
Oh, of course. They make black people apologize on TV every day.
I think where he was coming from was from the heart, though, because I think honestly he can understand what LeBron was trying to do with him. Because like you said, I was a young knucklehead, kind of not listening. You know what I'm saying? But like some people said, this probably gonna alienate him with his team because, the Boston without Kyrie last year had the Cavs on the ropes. So they pretty like, we was already here. Like, how you gonna talk about us like we like nobodies, and we almost had beat LeBron and his team without you. So it's interesting, but like I said, I don't want to get off. I like the fact that, as a younger player, he can come up and be like, I heard what you were saying. And that kind of tops into our knowledge. We're on the knowledge section. The OGs and the young cat. Do you think it's enough props given to the older generation, the OGs, from the young cats? This is a double part question. And then also, do y'all think the OGs and the older cats, whether it's sports, apprenticeships and barbers and stuff, is doing enough to kind of pour into this young generation and all that? What y'all think about that as far as just the gap? Because there is a gap. You talk about like millennials versus older cats. I remember the other show, Tiz, you was talking about how younger barbers just hop on IG and do it like that versus learning and grooming. Do y'all think OGs is enough kind of respect between the older and the young, you know what I mean, in certain fields? Or
to me, I think it determines if that younger, because if somebody's growing up without a father, they're gonna see things different and have a negative view towards OG type person, because they're gonna look at them differently than growing up with somebody who they can listen to. So I think it really that's the problem right there. So something like that is really a cause of what we see.
Not having father and stuff?
Yeah.
Some OGs do that.
Well, number one is sometimes you may not have a father, but you can't tell me that there's not one male figure in your life that fills that void. Nobody can tell me that. Now, the point is you don't have a father, so most kids, they go to either a gang or that OG on up the block that's actually telling the young kid something stupid to do or something to do that's not positive. Because that's where we lose our kids at. When you're not the influence in their lives, somebody will be. I believe. And from my experiences, my father died at 21 years old. I wasn't even born yet. So my fathers came from different avenues, different dudes. I had a dude named Bones that was, he can rap. I was 8, 9. That was my, his name was Bones. He was about 6'2" and about 120 pounds. But they called him Bones. God bless Bones. He probably ain't even here no more. But that you will gravitate to a father figure if it's not your biological father. Right. Somewhere down the line, somebody's going to fill that void of manhood in your life, either be positive or negative. That's the thing about parents. Make sure that your kids got a positive influence. Single moms out there, it's hard. Ain't no way a woman can raise a boy. Right. Ain't no way a woman can raise a young boy into being a man. She can raise him. She can nourish him. She can teach them all the things. She can teach them how to be an excellent person. But what she cannot do is teach that young boy how to be a man. But it's her job to make sure that those influences in his life come from a positive purview and not from bones up the block that told me if you take hypodermic needles and you sell them for $1 in front of the dope spot, you can make some money.
Yeah. I think, like
truth, fact. That's fact.
OGs, I think now because we have so much more access to information and stuff, it cultivates a society and a generation where you can't tell me nothing, right? See, like back in the day, when we were growing up, we didn't have as much access to information and have internet on our phone. Right. So we had to listen to the OGs a little bit more because right, wrong, or indifferent, you know what I mean, they had some information that we may not know. Just because you're 26 and I might be 12, or you're you know what I mean, 20 and you hoop before, do it this way. Now with smartphones, with technology, with all this, everybody feel like I can just Google, I can listen. So you got access to information, but I ain't gotta listen to you. You know, at least in certain aspects, I ain't gotta listen to you because I can get it myself.
But Jay,
I'm just saying this is.
That's a little broad, right? Yeah. I get what you're saying, but it's broad, right? The broad part is that, yeah, you got information, but you got so much information. I know older cats right now, I can name 5 brothers right now that don't have Facebook, don't have IG, don't have Twitter, don't have none of that. But you're telling me as a young man, I can't, no. I hear what you're saying, but you're telling me as a young man, I can't sow into these older fellas because they don't have the technology that I have in front of me to get the wisdom and the information that I can get on social media. You might get something out of them brothers that you could never get on social media, and they can show you better than they can tell you.
Absolutely. I agree with you. We're saying the same thing. I'm saying
but he was deaf and he didn't have hearing aids.
I'm saying that.
Who?
I'm saying that people.
The youngster who was trying to listen.
I'm saying that.
Yeah,
people,
he might be on Braille.
I'm saying that people should be open to.
Stop, Pookie Long John.
I'm saying people who should be open to receiving info from all different types of, you know what I mean, resources, and you know. So again, back to my question that we all just talked for a while and didn't answer. Do y'all think OGs?
Did you say we ain't answered it?
Not really, because there's a question. Do y'all think OGs and older cats are doing enough to kind of reach out to the youth? Yes or no?
It depends on the influence that older adult is bringing to the youth. Because I know an older adult whose job was stealing batteries from Walmart. And he would steal batteries from Walmart and give youngsters and say, bring them back to customer service and they'll give you the money and bring them back to me. And that was getting them employed, but it was a bad message that it was sending these people. But he was helping them out. It was like Robin Hood shit, you know? But
yeah, business
that right there is just
big shout out to Robin Hood.
Since you think that OGs.
All right, to answer your question, listen. I'm smart. I remembered your question. I remember your question from last week, but I'm gonna answer your question, and I'm gonna answer it, and I'm gonna say the answer is no.
No.
Let me explain. You said, is OGs pouring back into young people? And my answer is no, because a lot of times, me being an OG myself, we get hit with, I know everything. Yeah. So therefore,
I was just saying. Did I just say that, people?
But I'm answering your question. So we get hit with, I know everything. So you tell me, would you want to help someone that comes to you with a question and also the answer? No. You know what? I will save my breath. I will not sit here and talk till I'm blue in the face to a person that asks me a question and answers my question and knows everything before I even tell them. And that's 75% of young people today, especially the young people I run across. You can't tell them nothing because they know everything. And that's a false sense of knowledge because they're getting it on the internet, or they might have seen, they might have watched the news before you did, so now they know more than you do.
Shit. So check this out, but don't y'all think we still, as the older generation, as the OGs, have the responsibility to tell that? Because look, at the end of the day, we gotta help our people. We gotta tell. So if we see a cat going the wrong way, it may be more difficult because somebody doesn't want to listen, but we still got that responsibility to kind of fight through the attention span, the I know it allness, and all that. That's what I'm saying, dude. When I'm talking about are we not doing enough, don't y'all think we have to fight through that BS to still reach the youth? Because that's when I was going, it was to kick the truth to the young black youth, and all that was. Like, and it seemed like people took that more serious, right?
Who sung that?
That's the Wu-Tang Clan.
That's Wu-Tang? You quoting Wu-Tang?
Come on, man.
Okay.
You know.
Wu-Tang, what's up?
Jizza. Shout out to the whole Wu. 36
Yo,
acres.
Jizza. Remember that butt whooping I put on you in paddleball? Remember that? Jizza genius.
Shout out to
man, Justice.
Let's go.
Speaking facts. Yeah, man.
I believe, like you said, I do believe that it's our duty. But you know what I say? I do that to my sons. I pour it into my sons.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Because that way I'm safe. I'm gonna tell you the truth. I like it the safe way right now. Because a lot of kids can't take what you putting into them. You know what I mean? So you risk. You got school teachers that try to I got a school teacher client right now that he straight up like he want to pour it all into the youth, and he tell me you can't do that because I got parents waiting for me at 3 o'clock.
Yeah.
I got parents waiting for me at 3 o'clock after school, asking me why you talk to my son that way.
Right.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? So times has changed. We can't use old tactics for new situations. We can't use old solutions for new problems. We just can't do it.
Ties into my second question. Do y'all think the youth are listening? Would y'all say the youth are listening or no?
I think the youth is poured into their cell phones and their social
Listening to
media.
YouTube and Instagram. You gotta teach your subject on Instagram while stroll it by surprise. They might see you teaching and 8 + 1 is 3, and then you might get it and learn like that because that's the only way that's what they into, just going like this. So if you put your learning session on the internet, Instagram scroll,
which we doing, the SKEAM Podcast, YouTube. Y'all can follow us and subscribe right down below.
Right.
We kicking it and we doing that. So we
Am I stepping on it?
We stand ahead of the time.
I'm standing on it.
Yeah, we overstand. So we standing on time. We standing current. And like I said, this is how this form and this is part of the vision of what we're doing to help pass some knowledge along. You know, somebody might be looking for something, they could stumble across this and hear us talking about that. But it's funny talking about the new wave. Speaking of that, we're gonna move right along to entertainment. Did y'all check out Soulja Boy, who is one of the moguls? He was on Breakfast Club. Yeah, I like Soulja. Shout out to Soulja Boy. Superman. He was basically talking about like, yo, y'all forgot who I am. I'm the one who started all this YouTube, yes sir, YouTube stuff. And to his point, man, he kind of is. He ain't no kind of. He is. Was the first one talking all that. And
he wiped his eyes and flushed the toilet. He tired of this shit.
He's one of the people who, you know, I could say one of like the leaders of the young cats who have them on the wave, the Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, whatever, all those medias, and that's where they're coming for their, you know, he's an influencer. We call it influencer.
So let me ask you a question. A person that does something first, no matter if it goes right or if it goes wrong, because they did it first, are they entitled to the stage or the crown of being the pioneer of something? I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't think Soulja Boy at all is the pioneer of doing anything other than what everybody else before him did. He just used a platform that was put in front of him, and he used it. He probably didn't even know what he was doing when he did it.
No, absolutely not. That's where you're wrong.
It's about recognition.
He was the first. So to answer your question, yes, if you're the
To make a dance out of a song?
Hold a minute. If you're the pioneer of something, you do it first. Yes, you deserve credit. I mean, not deserving. Wait. It's not about deserving. Hold up. It's not about deserving. You did it first. If I do something first, and everybody copy off me, I'm the pioneer. A lot of times when you come through the door first, you get shunned. Because man doing something different that ain't nobody else doing. Then everybody catch on 3 years later, we forget about the person who did it first. Soulja Boy took a platform that was there just for watching videos and all that, turned it into money, all that. They was laughing and clowning him. Like, who the heck is that? And he said that in his interview, if you check it out. Yo, Ice-T, a lot of the older heads, other people was coming at Soulja. Now everybody doing it. Everybody got an IG, got a YouTube and all that. So lest we forget, like, yo, check it out. So yes, to play, I gotta disagree with you there, brother. If you do it first, everybody copy your swag, come out with the dances, doing all that later, don't forget where you got the game from.
So do he get props to the people that rhymed before him? Because he ain't doing nothing that ain't nobody else do.
We ain't talking about rhyming. We talking about
Did he invent YouTube?
We talking about platforms.
We talking about platforms, of course. But I can't come get on a platform and take half of what you did and do the same thing and then take all the credit.
This is what he did. This is what Soulja Boy did. He was strategic, the first strategic artist on YouTube platform. But to like
was he signed?
Put the videos on, put the title, change his title, put the different names, title. That's what everybody doing now. If everybody got instrumentals, they put in 50 Cent type music. Or then it's gonna say 50 Cent. Then they gonna search and see 50 Cent. But that get the views more. So he kind of like put the strategy with that
that's
into
why,
it.
And he's sure that's what he said. That's a pioneer.
A lot of people still doing
that's
that.
That's a pioneer. They still it. So now you got the titles when people come out now. They say YouTube rapper. They say SoundCloud rapper. Hold on, next time. YouTube rapper. SoundCloud rapper.
Wiz Kid.
YouTube rapper. Hold on, man. We gonna pause one. They got phones going off. We getting comfortable, y'all. And we gonna take a short break. So we back, fellas. Slight intermission. Again, make sure y'all subscribe. Scheme.podcast, Scheme_podcast on IG. We just talking about Soulja Boy. Where you at, P? You said you like what you talking about Draco. You asked his name.
Man, see, when you snort, it make you do stuff like that. That's what they said. Ain't about it. I heard about it. So when you snort, you want to say anything that's on your mind and whatever feelings you got at that time, you want to let it out. Because snorting make you do it. I know his name, Snorting Orton. That's what they call him. He is snorting your neck off. He is snorting neck hair. He don't give a damn. He just want to snort. But he was crazy.
Yes.
But that'll make you go crazy. But don't. Soulja Boy is on that shit, man. Everybody know that. But
yo, all I got to say.
We don't know what Soulja Boy is on. We're not going to disparage anybody.
We ain't saying.
So we don't know that.
We ain't saying.
Listen, I look at it like this, man. It's another black brother out there that found an avenue. I just wish more, young black brothers would get out there and be a bigger voice for the people that's coming after you. We don't know what the man do in his personal time. We don't know all that. So
salute.
you know what I mean? I'm gonna big up Soulja Boy. It's another African American black youth that found an avenue and kicked through the door and came in. But all I'm saying now is, now that you have that, use it for somebody after you and use it to make a difference in the black community. And I'm good with it. I don't give a damn what nigga do. Right. If a nigga wanna beatbox his way, to the Oscars, then do it. If somebody wanna tap dance their way, as long as you ain't hurting nobody and you ain't killing nobody, because we got enough of that too. I ain't mad at it.
Right. Speaking of tap dancing, that's something you gotta be in shape to do. We right here in appearance. Look how it appears. Check this out. When it appears, you gotta be in shape. We talking about our physical fitness, our weight. You see, we are good-looking males. Pause. Check this out. have y'all been keeping up with y'all goals? Everybody start the new year, yo, I'm gonna hit the gym every day, I'm gonna lift weights, I'm gonna do all that. You know, PLJ got a, you know, segment called the Frail Mill, you know, but have you been on your grind?
Right, and you know, I have, because it's all about, you know, keeping yourself, I've been more aware of what I'm eating and my intake and what I'm processing and digesting.
Yeah.
You know, I think about it more than I used to. I'm aware of that. So that makes me want to consume it and digest differently, and that's what I've been doing.
So what you been digesting?
You know, I'm eating. My diet is different. You know, I'm never really like pig bologna type. Some people have a whole pig in their refrigerator. Oh, some people will have a whole pig in their refrigerator. Fat back, bologna, ham, pig nose. They have bacon. A whole pig just in different parts of it. Just different part of a pig just in there.
I feel you. Tiz, you were vegan for a minute, right? Or
well, I ain't go vegan. I went pescatarian.
Right.
Yeah.
Leave shit, bad shit.
And what happened to me is I watched some shit on TV, freaked me out, scared the shit out of me.
I think everybody's seen that.
Yeah, everybody's
seen all that.
Yeah, the slaughterhouse shit and all that.
The pigs was looking all sad.
Man, they kicking the shit out of the pig. And you know,
I love animals, but I eat one.
And what happened? It made you just...
It just made me rethink. You know, they had a lot of poignant points in there that, you know, we're not, as human beings, we're not made to digest flesh and meat, an animal or whatever.
Right.
And I tried it. I think I went a month, me and my wife, big shout out to my beautiful wife.
Yeah.
We went she went a little longer than I did because I kind of fell off. I said, you know what? If I'm going to live this life, I want to live this life and enjoy it.
Yeah.
Yes, I proved to myself that I can come off the meat and I can come off the swine, but did I actually enjoy it when I was off of it? And the answer is no, because I've been to many places, I've traveled, you know, and in other cultures, you know, a roskin pollo, I mean, and you want to have that, you know what I'm saying? You want to have that.
Roskin pollo, muy bien.
Some people care about the taste more than what the taste and everything in the digestion is gonna make you act after you digest it.
Yeah.
It's not all about the taste. It's all about what you consume and how you gonna act and react after you digest what you just consumed. So some people love how bacon tastes, but if you gonna act like a wild pig and bite a bitch, then don't eat that shit.
Yeah.
Now I can't say, real quick, I can't say that I felt much better health-wise when I wasn't eating the meat.
Right.
I did it too, fellas. So I think I watched Forks Over Knives on the Netflix, and then I watched the Slaughterhouse Joint. But even before that, I had actually given up red meat. One year I gave up red meat for Lent. And I love steaks, I love burgers. No, for Lent, just like 40 days. Oh. And but I kept it going afterwards because a lot of times I turned it into chicken, fish, turkey, and I kind of did the pescatarian. But even after that, you know, when I was, I think it's a big thing about it, like you said, is who you with. If your partner can do that, you know what I mean, and give stuff up, and you see that, you don't want to be the one like, well, shit, I'm eating a burger too. So I was with it, you know, with my ex. And
slurping chitlins.
But check this out, though. Check this out.
I ain't no damn chitlins.
No, I ain't no chitlins. We all for chitlins. But check this out. I think your energy level goes up, your thoughts and all that goes up. I have a cousin, shout out to Candace, cool Candace, who did the whole thing. She went.
What up, Candace?
What up, Candace? She went. She started, I think, pescatarian to vegetarian to vegan to full, did every step. Right. And she was telling me the whole way, like, cousin, you gotta do it. But she would just eat like all veggies and noodles. And I'd be hungry as hell. Like my thing is, if the food tastes good, I can eat it. I like good food. Right. So, but they have some places. Matter of fact, there's one around here called Everlasting Life. Shout out to Everlasting Life. All vegan spot. It's in Maryland. They making good food. That food tastes good. They're doing the vegan soul food and all that. You know what I mean? I gotta bring us some food.
What's it called again?
Everlasting Life. We'll eat it right here and give you the plug. We already gave you the plug. But check this out. It makes your energy level go up. Right. So, but to Tiz's point,
how you feel after?
I think sometimes you can fall off, James. Like, cause like
Right.
Man, I love wings.
That's it.
You know what I mean? And so,
man.
so
I did that
when I'm watching games, I'm like, and you've been on it. Yeah, you're right.
But you got to remember, it come from a place of how you was raised. You got people that was raised as vegan.
Shout out to Buffalo and the Buffalo Wings, so we do that.
Exactly, Buffalo right here, home of the Buffalo Wing.
Come on, man.
You know what I mean? Big shout out to the Anchor Bar, even though they don't think the Anchor Bar is
Lenovo's.
Right. So check it out. Yeah, I spent a little time in Buffalo myself. But like I was saying, man, it just depends on how you was raised. You know, if you raise your kids that way, then you show a young man the way to go, and that's the way he'll go.
Right.
You know, we got to do better at a younger age. You know what I mean? We got to do better with our kids at a younger age. It shouldn't be me being 42 years old and trying to get off of meat for the first time in my life.
Right.
That's not gonna happen. I had 42 years of a behavior that I enjoyed and knew no other way.
Right.
So, and maybe if that was introduced to me as a younger person, very young, a child, then it would be nothing. It would actually be harder for me to start eating the meat than it would be for me to stop eating.
To the OG perspective, that's why we got sharing knowledge. They say when you know better, you're supposed to do better. And to that point, we learned, because I saw the McDonald's documentary and all that nasty shit they put in the McDonald's. My daughter, I can proudly say, has never eaten a McDonald's burger. You know what I mean?
I had one last night.
I never heard
Because she don't know that. Exactly, because she ain't been introduced to that. Because now we got Panera, we got other healthy options. And so if you don't introduce them to it, they don't have to know what it is, and she ain't even asking for the Happy Meal, because she don't know what that is.
But you gotta remember, like we was talking earlier, technology and information.
Right.
We got more information as a culture than we ever had before in life. Right? So you gotta remember, we 3-4 generations out of slavery?
Okay.
And in slavery days, we were only allowed to eat meals and the leftovers, and we took the scraps and we made gourmet meals out of them. And big shout out to those that took only what was left.
That's the creative ingenuity of us.
That's the creative ingenuity of the black man and the black woman.
Yeah.
You know, we had a woman right here at the Eastern Shore. She was known. Her talent was how well she can plant a sweet potato seed to get the most sweet potatoes out of one seed.
Right.
Come on, black people.
Come on.
That's what she was known for.
Right.
It ain't no damn basketball, it ain't no football, it ain't this. She was known for that one quality, and farmers sought her out to do that for their farm so that they can yield more produce from one seed, right?
Yeah,
so we got to remember where we came from.
Yeah.
Do I think that with the information that's going out that my children's children will have the same bad eating habits as I had?
Right.
I don't think so.
Right.
I think that it will evolve. I think that we will become smarter with technology and with examples, because my mother, grandmother, grandfather all died from diabetes.
Right. Say that.
So if I sit here and lay down and I die from diabetes, hopefully my 4 children will say that won't be us.
Exactly. So first of all, shout out to the ingenuity of the black people. Just piggybacking on that, George Washington Carver. Right. Look at what he did with the peanut. There's so many different inventions, lipstick and peanut and all that. You have to do your homework. Go look at that. That just shouts to our creativity. Like I said, we take what they was giving us, lemons, and we make lemonade. But again, when you know better, you're supposed to do better. So now we have the responsibility, I think, to introduce our children from day one. Yo, if you got a baby and you never ever give them the bullshit, they not going to know the bullshit. So we got to do that, right, to make sure they grow up and only crave exactly.
Until they get to a point to where they're influenced by other kids that's part of the bullshit.
Right.
So you're gonna fight a battle. I know parents that's fighting that battle now. They do one thing at home, but the peers of the children at school and at daycare is doing something different, and then they come home and say, "Mommy, what's the golden arches?"
And you know
what?
And I saw a little bit of that with my daughter Jada. Shout out to Jada, my princess. She has school.
Jada.
She has school, and sometimes like the kids' lunches, you be see because I sit there, they be like, "Yo, you could be doing the right thing, fruit," and they see they be like, "He got that." Kids be sometimes impressionable. They want to just try, not knowing. They want to hear. They want to try something else that they see other people have. So I think again, what it ties into us being on our square, mentally, spiritually, physically. Back to physical, we got to be in the gym. We got to get our physical appearance right to show okay, Daddy look good, Daddy strong, he on this, you know what I mean? So are we standing our grind? Let's talk about it. Are we on our physical fitness, hooping, running, lifting, all that? Are we standing our goals? Man, Tears, you got to stay on them feet all day, bro. What's the physical like? Are you?
Hey. Man, life is a daily exercise to me. Shit, I be jogging to the store. I be late for work. I be running and shit. I be, jogging and losing my keys. So that's physical exercise. It makes me run. It makes me run and tired. I run upstairs. I live on the 3rd floor, so I run up this shit. I run up in a circle.
You don't take the elevator?
Hell no, we ain't got one.
You know, they say we're supposed to actually be active for 8 hours a day. Active. Think about that. They have us sitting for 8 hours a day if you have an office job. They have us, if you're in school. They have us in school from 9 to 5. They have us sitting at an office cubicle desk. Now, we actually supposed to be out and active 8 hours a day, right? Versus that. So,
you gotta remember. I mean, these are studies, right? So people are sitting in their office, and nutritionists and people of that nature, and they're coming up with things to write about to spark interest for profit. So, I don't know. My grandmother and my grandfather lived to be well in their 80s, way before all these stipulations on what we need to do to stay healthy.
What they did? What did grandmother and grandfather do? What did they do?
They did what they did. My grandfather was a milkman for over 50 years and retired.
Like milking cows?
No, hell no. I said we 4 generations from slavery. I ain't saying 2.
Did he dress in all white?
No.
You talking about the guy who delivered the milk back in the day?
In the truck. No, stop.
Stop talking.
In the truck, he delivered milk to the school. Was you in school and the Queensboro Farms truck pulled up and they delivered all the crates of chocolate milk, the white milk?
Upstate Farms, upstate New York. Queensboro Farms. What's Queensboro's Farms?
Queensboro Farms was a milk company in New York City. Anybody out there, shout out to anybody out there from New York, Brooklyn in the house. You'll know Queensboro Farms.
Brooklyn in the house.
Without a doubt.
Without a doubt, let's go.
Right. Queensboro Farms was one of the, I'm sure it wasn't the only, but one of the milk companies that delivered milk to the supermarkets and school. I think our generation was past the milkman coming with the little glass bottles and sitting them on your doorstep.
That's what I thought you meant.
No. He drove a truck for Queensboro Farms. I remember all the stories. Big shout out to my grandfather, rest in peace. So by saying that, I'm saying that they live to be well in their 80s. I know partners right now that died in their 40s and 50s that were gym rats, that ate healthy, that did well. I'm not going to put no names out there, but some real close friends of mine that passed out, heart blew up in their chest, and they're not here no longer. And they did everything right.
Steve Jobs is a vegan.
That's what I'm saying. So you got to remember, this world, this society, I'm not even going to say this world, because we still got some villages in Africa that don't subscribe to none of this bullshit.
The guy who shot with the arrow, the old guy,
exactly. The elders are still on the top of the hill. They still offering off. And they don't subscribe to none of the shit that we subscribe to, and they live long, and some of them don't live long. When your number is called, brother, it's time to go home to your maker. And that can be in your teens, in your 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, and if you lucky, 100s. But I'm going to tell you the truth. I don't want to live to the point to where I cannot take care of myself. So, I feel sorry for my family and my kids that will miss me. But take me before I cannot do for myself. I don't want to be 100 sitting in a bed where I cannot be DJ Tiz.
And you gotta wait for somebody to
exactly. I would rather go before then so that I can be remembered for the great person that I inspire to be.
Because if you ain't got enough strength to jerk, why are you here?
Well, you think you'll jerk off in your 80s?
If you ain't got enough strength to do it when you 80, then slit your wrist.
Yeah.
I think when you 80, you probably don't even think about that shit.
Outside, people
I will still want to do the lady. When I'm 80, I'm gonna still want to turn up. I'm gonna still be like this.
He gonna be 80 in the club. Long Johns. You know that's crazy.
For real.
But you know what?
Pookie Long John. It's Pookie Long John.
Pookie Long John.
I will say this, man. I will say
the euphoric releaser. You ain't even say your shit today.
Yeah, because you know I'm gonna let you already know it.
Let him know it. Let him know it.
I'm letting them endorphins out. I'm your endorphin releaser.
Oh.
But that euphoria is with the endorphin too, so it's all together. You know, so.
But you know what? Part of that goes to, we talk about living a long age. We talk about being healthy and all that. Part of that is construed and constructed and built around the person you're with. And we on our last topic, manhood. 3
Who
cleans
you
up
with?
Manhood. You know, we got a lot of domestic issues and all that going on right there. Check it out. So I think and this is my thing in the pen. I'm like, that's why I'm in the middle, because I'm in the middle of both sides. I'm with you, Tiz, and not wanting to be able to not do it myself because I'm an independent single male. But if I get the right person, you got somebody who's rocking with you. Bless you, bro.
Thank you.
I think living a long life.
Out here. You see the snow.
Living a long life will be good. So if you with a queen who rocks with you and takes your back and have you living a long life, seeing your great grand is a good thing. Unfortunately, we're in a society where we got domestic violence. We got, cats not protecting women. Women calling the cops on you, starting shit, then they're calling the cops on you and all that. So for our last topic, it'll be
my black queen, right?
Yeah, it's supposed to be my queen, but you calling the cops on me.
Damn, queen.
What is up with this? Put your hands on a man, and then try to run to the authorities for that.
Yelling.
I do not condone. Let me first off start, because lest we be confused. We do not condone hitting women. I think any man that hits a woman is a punk. Yeah. Is a punk, straight up. And you get dealt with if you handle, a woman in my family. That's how we was raised. Likewise. I will say this.
I hit a woman before.
I will say this.
Sorry.
I will say this. You got a right to defend yourself. We want to hear that story, Tiz. You got a right to defend yourself. And if you coming at me, you know what I mean? I'm 5'5". There's some woman out here 6'2", 340. You know what I mean? I'm gonna get you off me, Rasputin. I'm letting you know. You know what I mean? Cause you know what I mean?
Get off me, Jay.
I fear for myself.
How you gonna get off you?
Oh man, we ain't got to
hit it with.
We got to
show what you gonna hit it with.
Head under the bed. What else you supposed to do?
I ain't gonna go into details, but you getting up off me.
You getting up off?
Talk about yours though, Tim.
Talk about your situation. What happened?
No, what happened?
No, I had a situation.
This is not. We give you the entertainment.
You know what? We're not gonna make light of that. So I'm not even gonna discuss that, because I am very remorseful for that situation. But I am guilty of that, and thank God it didn't escalate to a point where I was incarcerated. But what I will say is, we gotta get back to respect. Respect is earned and it's given. Mm-hmm. So brothers out here it's not being given to, it's because you ain't earning it. So if a woman feel like she can come up and slap the hell out you, then the respect is done. So what you do is you take that slap, because you'll take worse in life. You'll take worse in life, and you need to remove yourself from the situation from where that woman, because every woman is not like that. Now I got a firecracker at home. Right there. She like to throw them hands, but at the end of the day, she respects me enough to where
you've been through some stuff.
I done been through some shit.
Talk about it. Let me. Just like we talk about, there are men out there who didn't grow up with a father and the right example. There are women out here who did not grow up with the right example of a woman. So we could be, wait. You could be on your square as a man. And this woman has never seen the proper example of how to treat a man. So this is why I gotta play devil's advocate to you, big bro, because if I'm doing everything right and she just wanna come up and smack the shit out of me because she don't know what she's doing, that's on her for being wrong. It's not saying I deserved it. It's not saying I did something wrong. You got some women out here that don't know or have never seen how to properly treat a king, how to properly treat a man. And they feel because they are the weaker vessel, being an emotional creature, not saying they're not weaker holding it down, they gonna come and want to be like, you know what? You didn't give me a 2-piece from Popeye. And we get that shit, man. And then as a man, you supposed to, you know what I mean? Now if I call the cops on, wait. If I call the cops on my girl, you asked for the 2-piece with a biscuit, coleslaw, and mac and cheese. I'm sorry I got mashed potatoes. But that don't give you the right to smack the shit out of me.
He 5'5".
I'm 5'5", but I'm strong as hell.
You gonna get up off me.
Man, listen, I'm gonna get up off me.
So
I got a 6-footer right now.
Your kneecap.
To your point.
But we giving y'all entertainment, but we actually be being real.
We being real. To your point.
You can throw a shoe at a bitch though. You can throw a shoe at a bitch's neck. You can throw a shoe at a bitch's neck.
Hit it in the neck?
Yeah, that's all right.
You might be paralyzed.
If she did something to you, you could throw a shoe at a bitch's neck. That's all right.
Oh shit, man, we love y'all.
Yo, on the real.
Only here on Scheme Podcast.
On the real, son. Listen, on the real. You are absolutely right. And this is what the white man. No, wait, play. This is. Listen. When you break up family,
right,
you do so many things down the road that's going to put things like this and question. When you break up family, what you do is when you take the man out of the household, what you do is you get the single mom to raise the children.
Right.
They do not see how mom and dad interact. They don't see dad treating mom with respect. Man should never put his hands on a woman. You know, mom gets upset. You know, dad comes in and consoles her and evens things out and make moms happy. Happy wife, happy life.
Right.
You don't get that, so you get a whole
happy man, happy land.
Right. So you get a whole generation of people.
I got that from me. That's
that you get a whole generation of people that don't see that behavior. So you get the retribution slapping the shit out of her husband because she hasn't seen a positive home family environment where mom gets mad, you know, she says shucks and she walks upstairs to the room and she cools off and dad, you know, makes things sweet. So you're gonna get these things. So what I say is
that bullshit.
That Huxtable shit. We got more menaces to society on TV than we have Cosby shows. And that's just the fact. Because the powers that be wants to sell negativity in the black community, in the black household, but we had more Brady bunches. We had more ostrich families. We had
more LeBron James. Shout out LeBron James.
That's why they canceled Bill Cosby. They don't want to show that family type shit that we had with Bill Cosby. That's why they canceled that shit. Because you ain't got to show it no more. Bill Cosby off there.
Oh my God.
He about to piss on this. He got the drip. That nigga got the drip.
Off this way. Shout out to Young Gunner.
Yo, big shout out to podcast, man. Scheme. Big shout out. Make sure y'all
subscribe. Yeah, check it out.
Make sure y'all subscribe. Ladies, keep your fucking hands off your man, and then you won't have to get that right hook. Because you cannot beat a man unless you 6'3" and you fucking with Jay.
And you supposed to be with your nigga anyway.
You crazy yourself. You get a You want to
How you get that lump on your face?
This is my brother. Check it out. Listen. We gonna bring it in.
You take your hat off and show what happened.
Scheme Podcast. Y'all love it. Subscribe. Peace. We out.